Oh, hello everybody, CW here. Let's look at these new dies I got. I picked up a set of Forester dies from Midway on sale. I've got a couple of sets of these and I really like them. I'm going to consider them, you know, maybe a slight step up from the Redding. Maybe on par with the Redding precision dies. It's a 2 die set. But the cedar is what's really fancy. It's this inline precision ultra cedar that they make, and what's really nice about it is the die body is custom made to fit the Grendel. It's like a chamber on your rifle, so it custom fits. It says right on it, 6.5 Grendel. It custom fits. It's custom cut and ground to fit your case. So it can only load this case. And what that does is it just makes a lot more precision, a lot better alignment, and it's a dead length cedar. So it's really nice. There is no crimp in it, like most match die sets. There's no crimp, but you're probably not going to need it. But if you are, or you feel that you are, you just got to pick up a standalone crimping die, which is available. You can use that, or you can just use the crimper out of your standard die set if you have a standard die set like this. This is a Hornady set that I've been using, and I added this micrometer cedar stem, which it's pretty good. It's a little nicer adjustment than what the factory was with just the screw. Future numbers. I don't know that they really line up or jive with anything precisely. I haven't really checked them to be sure or to see if they really are, but they're okay. It's a reference. It works pretty good. You're going to need a shell holder. The Hornady sets come with them, like the Lees do, but everybody else you have to buy. I've got a Redding Precision shell holder coming, but for whatever reason, overnight delivery, when you buy it from Amazon, works out to like 7 days. So I haven't really figured that out. But so we'll just use the shell holder, and we'll have to reset up because the shell holders are different. It's the same size, it's going to fit, but they're dimensionally a little bit different, and we're talking about a few thousandths of a difference for some of the setup we're doing here, shoulder bump and such. So you're going to want to have a dedicated shell holder for any precision adjustments you make for any die set. I recommend you buy a shell holder for every single die set you have, and keep it in the box with those dies so that you know that the dies are set up. You know, I write on there, like here, 124, I set this up for the mech. I write right on there the press that these are set up for. If you only have one press, obviously, you don't have to do that. But I have multiple presses, so I wrote down what I had it set for. So we'll just set this aside, put it on the die rack, and then we'll come in here, and we'll see if these sizes jive with the wrenches that we have. And I don't believe that they're going to. So let's see if I have the right size over here. And I'm betting you that I do not. But I will have somewhere on this bench the proper wrench size for this die set. So let's not bore you. Let me put you on pause. Let me find that Allen key and come back. Okay. Anybody who's spent any time around firearms and reloading probably has a box full of these things, and the majority of them are going to be the same sizes, but looking through, you'll find that you probably have every size you'd ever need. I know I've got a couple of drawers full of them, a couple of you see up there on the shelf, Standard Velocity, that's full of Allen keys, and I found the right one. So we're going to just get this adjusted here. I think you know how to set up a set of dies, but let's do it again anyway. Actually, you know something? Let's disassemble this and give it a quick clean first, because it's a brand new die and we really don't know if it's got any oils in it or any corrosion. I mean, any chips or anything from machining. We want to make sure that we don't have any of that in there. So we're just going to pull the die apart really quick. I have a brush, chamber brush. I keep these on my bench, not the metal ones, the nylon ones. And just run it up in here and make sure we got everything clean. Clean out the threads. We'll get some carb cleaner. Make sure we flush out anything that's might be in here. Just doing this over the garbage. Now this is going to remove oil, and you do want a little bit of oil in here, so you're going to have to re-oil things to prevent corrosion, because there definitely is oils on here. And something that I do is just run my fingernail in the thread through a rag and run it up, and you'll see, I can see that this is changing color, so there's a little bit of something in these threads, probably oil or grease. And only takes a second, and then we're clean. Let's get a little bit of lube back on here. What do I got here? I got 100 different lubes up here. Here's a Rem oil. I like Rem oil. Oh, this is Rem oil dry lube. This is not really what I want. Let me get a regular. So any gun oil will work fine. I just happened to grab a G96. I thought my Rem oil was in there, but I didn't see it. Now I'm not going to put it directly on the die. I'm going to put it on a rag and then wipe it on the die, just because you can, if you put it directly on the die, you can get too much on. You don't really need a whole lot. You just want a residual amount on there. So an oily rag is probably going to apply all the oil that you need. Okay, there's that. Let's wipe this off. This is our seat and stem. Just wipe everything off. Make sure there's no chips or anything in there that could cause you some problems. Put our seat and stem back in. Our lock collar. This can go on either way. It doesn't really matter. You may have a direction you want it to be for ease of use with that Allen wrench, Allen key, but that's up to you. Now initially, we're going to run this down until it touches the shell holder. Back this off, give it a little bit more, just a little bit of cam over. Should be pretty close to what we want. So then we're going to run this back, holding it position so that it doesn't move, meaning the key, the ring doesn't move to the die body. And you don't need to kill this for tightness. You know, it's only you going to be working on it, so don't be a gorilla. Okay, there's a good start for us. So let me get you in here tight, and we will run a case in there and see what we can find. All right, so to set this up, this is gonna be setting up, basically it's setting up your sizing die, but we're gonna set up for shoulder bump. So what I've just done is I've just gone through my cases here and I've measured them to get an average to see what we've got. And I like to use a micrometer with a digital readout. It's a little bit quicker and easier for your head. You can zero it, you put your tool in, You put the proper size adapter in here so that it's reading halfway down your shoulder. You want this opening to be about the diameter of what your case is halfway down its shoulder. Not really critical, but you want it to be measuring on the shoulder. So we got them measured here, and I've got a number of them that are pretty big, and I got a number of them here that are really close to the same. So we're going to set this up to move that shoulder back to be the same as these other ones over here. So we're at about 140. I think it was 140. 240? Yeah, 240. 1240. So to go with our numbers here, we've got 204, 4 thousandths. The 4 is on the thousandths. So we got another one over here that's 4.5. It's not 5 thousandths. It's 4.5. And you want to spin this to get a good number. See, it bounces to 5 to 4.5. So it's still 4 thousandths. It's just 5. It's half again more. So it's not all the way to 5. You know, don't read that. That's just this way to jump to. It's not all the way to 5. It's 4.5. So that's fine. You're not going to get it precise, and you're going to have a little bit of bounce back. It's gonna change a little bit. So let's get all set up here. Let me get rid of my extra primers because I've got a few primers here I want to look at. So let me dump the primers into my can so that my primer cup here is empty. Let's get our lube out. We're going to be using Imperial sizing dye wax. It's just what I prefer. I generally use it mostly for forming cases, but it's going to be fine for this here. So let's see. What do I want to do? Let's stay with a long case to start out. I like to lube with my fingers, keeping the lube off the shoulder, just lubing the body of the case. And we actually don't need the decapping pin in here because we don't want to affect anything. If you have a little bit of resistance in your expander ball as you pull it back through, you can move the shoulder up or down. As you're pulling this out, you're going to move it up, and you can change your measurement. Remember, we're only measuring thousandths, so you can move it without even realizing it. Now, do I have the phone in the way here? I think I do. Yes, I do. So let me hold on tight. Let me move you. Let me put you on pause. I know this handle is a little bit in your way, but it's going to be out of the way in a second here. So we got a lubed up case. We've got our die in set just to bounce off the shell holder with a little bit of resistance. And we're just going to run it up in here. Give it a second and pull it out. Now you can go nuts and lube and re-lube and bounce back because we're going to have to do this a number of times. But I just as soon have it clean so I know there's nothing on my shoulder that's going to affect my measurement. Nothing on the base. So let's put it in our measuring device here and see if we've moved anything. Okay. I don't think we've moved anything. We're at 5.5. So we've got to move this a thousandths, which is not very much. Thousandths to a thousandths and a half. So let's get our Allen wrench. Let's loosen up our die body. Our setting. Loosen that up enough for this to turn. Give it just a little bit of a turn. It's not going to take much. A thousandth of an inch is not much. Now, if you've got flats on your, I don't think you can see me, but if you've got flats on your die nut, you may want to snug it down with a wrench just to make sure that you've got it good and snug. Because if you're doing all this without doing that, and then you do that, you're going to get a different measurement. All right, re-lubed. We had 5.5. Let's see what we got now. I'm not going to do too many. Like I said, I'm really doing this for demonstration. I'm going to have to do it all over again with the new shell holder. So I'm not going to go to the trouble of setting all this up and starting all over. There we go. We've got 4.5. So that little bitty movement that I did was 1/1000th of an inch. Now I'd really like it to be 40. I don't know if I can get that to do that. So let's try. What the heck, right? What the heck? Just a very minuscule movement. Half of what I did before is what we have to do again. And you're screwing it in. You're screwing the die into the press or into your lock ring. All right, let's put that up there. Take another casing. I don't want to keep working that one. Take another casing. I'm moving it up. This left hand is clean, no lube. Right hand has lube. So this is the hand that's going to touch the shoulder and neck. Run it up in here again. Give it a second. Get our rag. Just wiping the lube off to make sure there's nothing in there that's going to cause us to have a false measurement. Stick it back in our tool. What do we got here? We got a high primer. So we've got a problem. So let me deprime this on the universal deprimer. I was trying to do this with what I had there, and the primer isn't seated all the way. So that's going to be a problem. But it would have been a problem anyway, because primers are supposed to be ideally seated all the way. Still got a little cough that I can't get rid of. All right, looks like I went a little too far. 40, I had 35, 40. So I'm on the cusp of going shorter, but we're going to call it okay because we will get a little bit of spring back. We're going to call that good. And we just got this set up. Now, we didn't set up our decapping pin, but you're going to set this up, and it generally comes set up. You're going to set this up so that it comes out of the bottom of the case an adequate amount to pop a primer, but not so much that you're crashing into the bottom of the inside of your case. So you're better off backing it off so that it just pops the primer out and then give it just a little bit more to make sure that you're not having a problem. You can also take this out, and before you size your case, you can push this right inside and see how much is sticking out when this is crashing into the bottom of the case. It'll give you an idea of what leeway you have here. So, if you have this much sticking out, you'll know, you don't have much to work with. But if you've got that much sticking out of the bottom of the case, when this is touching, you got a lot to work with. So you just set it somewhere in the middle. But there we go. Hope I didn't make this video too awful long. But that's how I set up for shoulder bump. I've done the other video on shoulder bump already. But that's how I do it really quick here on this new set of dies. We'll do this Forester die when I get loading up and getting ready. Add another video next time. God bless everybody. CW out.